are the headlines coming up on the show. Diamond Rings makes beet salad, and we see what happens when you mix Wu-Tang and Bieber. But first, we asked Panic at the Disco about how success and a little bit of Pete Wentz almost killed the band.
So in the mid-2000s, Panic at the Disco found themselves with massive success. They were selling millions of albums and playing large arena tours. Well, it seems that success may have gotten the better of the band as they split in half due to creative differences. But two members, Brendan and Spencer, are continuing with Panic at the Disco, and they just put out their new album, Vices and Virtues. They're in town, and we're going to catch up with them to get the lowdown. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. You know, when approaching Vices and Virtues, how much of, your attitude was that this is a fresh start?
We just kind of knew that people were going to look at it as a fresh start. Our fans were going to approach it knowing that it was something different. But at the same time, I think, the reason that we stayed as Panic is because we felt like we were wanting to do something that's more in line with what the band had done before.
We didn't have a concept for the album, but we knew where it was going to go. And we were on the same page of what we should do musically. It was like mostly lyrically trying to figure out a voice of things I wanted to say and things we wanted to talk about. That was a lot of fun. Kind of a challenge, but still fun.
I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door.
When Fever came out, you guys sold 1 million copies so fast out of the gate. You played massive shows. Do you think that was a negative thing or a positive thing for a young band?
Well, it's tough to say because you are only able to experience exactly what happened. I mean, our expectations were just to try to sell enough so that we didn't have to get other jobs, It's really tough to say that it was a complete negative. There's so many bands that we love that never had that success. We were so young, and to have eyes on you as you're changing so much is a little weird.
Do you guys not feel then that massive success right away is maybe what divided your creativity with John and Ryan?
No, I mean, all of the arguments we had were purely about music, and there wasn't any weird tension between who's cooler than who.
Yeah.
It wasn't a weird thing like that.
Something called a desperation. Another dollar, another day.
Pete Wentz signed you guys back in the day, and you came up in sort of that, Wentz rock, some people like to call it, sort of thing. Do you think that helped or hindered your career?
I don't know what scene we felt like we would have belonged to if we weren't with those bands, We always saw ourselves as pretty different, but we understood that, there's people from the outside, if they're not necessarily big fans of all the bands, that are just going to lump you into
on a
the
mainstream
whole thing.
level, for sure.
So,
And they definitely took us under their wing,
Which is the
metaphorically.
positive
It was great. I mean, they had a lot more experience with tours and all this stuff, so it was really nice to get a bandmate's perspective on something. It was really cool.